All right, welcome everybody to the Down and Dirty at 1:30. This is your host, Deshawn from Team Tough, and I'm also known as the Tough Mama. So welcome. I hope you're having a fabulous Monday and getting ready for a great week. We are just now entering the holiday week or holiday season here with the next Sunday being Christmas. So for those of you that are traveling, I hope you travel safely. A wonderful holiday season. All right, well, today I've put together a presentation for you on how to make your 2017 the most successful ever in all areas of your life. And I know that may be kind of bold claims, but I really believe that there's just a few simple things that if you do consistently for the year, you will see a huge improvement in your life. I can guarantee it. The challenge is that most people aren't consistent. They do something for a little bit and then they stop because they aren't seeing results right away. But if you can be consistent in all 6 of these areas, and they really aren't that hard, okay? But if you can be I can't even say the word today, consistent, then you will have success in your life for the next year and ongoing if you continue that consistency. So let me see who all's out here before we flip the screen around. All right, hey, there's Gabriella. Good to see you, lovely lady. I'm glad you're here. And for those of you that are watching but you just haven't logged in, go ahead, log in. You'll see that there's a chat window down below. And feel free to say hello. Let me know that you made it. And if you have questions as we go along or comments, go ahead and type them there. And I'll try to check it throughout so that I can answer those for you. All right, let's get started. So I'm going to flip my screen around and you'll be able to see a presentation that I have just for you. And here it goes. All right, so you should be able to see my screen now or momentarily here. But basically the title of today's Down and Dirty presentation is how to make all areas of your life successful. And we are leading into 2017, but the things that I'm going to teach you today can really help you no matter what year it is or what you're going into, because they are something that is eternal. I mean, these are things that anyone from all cultures could add to their life and start doing consistently and really start having more success and a much happier life, right? So the purpose of my calls, and I host these every single Monday at 1:30 Central Time, 2:30 Eastern, but the purpose is to make your Mondays incredible. I want to, in some way, inspire you, improve your life, give you tips and tools that can make your week and your business and your life even better than it already is. If I've done any of that, then I've succeeded. If not, let me know, because that means I need to work on my presentation. But I really do strive to make it even better for you. I have put together a little overview for the areas, so 6 areas in our life that are the areas that make you whole. They give you that wellness feeling if you have all 6 of these areas running on all 8 cylinders, right? So those areas are mind, body, spirit, relationships, finance, and purpose. So if you can, and I'm going to go into a lot of detail on each of these, but if you can focus on those 6 areas of your life and making them the very best that they can be, your life overall is going to be in a much better place than it might be right now. So I'm going to share with you some tips and things that have worked for me in these 6 areas, and I hope that they will help you and inspire you in your life so that you can kick off the new year with a renewed sense of purpose, accomplishment, and success. Sound good? All right, so I do challenge you all to go ahead, take out a pad of paper or a notebook and take notes as you watch these Down and Dirties and listen to me, because you're going to find that you retain the information more when you write it than if you just listen and typed it. So be sure to take notes, and then if you want to really do well as far as retaining information, when you what you're learning, be it from me or somebody else, when you take notes, you will have to teach somebody else how to do this. And when you have that sort of mindset in all of your note taking, you will find that you retain the information 80% better than if you were just listening and taking notes. I know, it's amazing. I had an instructor who told me this one time, and it was so true. I started doing that, and it really did improve my retention level and my ability to teach whatever it is that I learned to other people. So that's just a bonus tip. But let's get going here with our first one. So the first area of your life that you can change completely and start having more success is your mind. Now you're probably thinking, oh no, I'm pretty set in my mind. Something that I was not a big reader. Well, I used to be when I was a kid, but then I kind of fell out of the habit when I became an adult. Because life gets caught up with you. You have kids. In my case, I have 2 boys. And so you get so busy that I couldn't find time, or I didn't make time, I should say, to read. And that's one of the best ways that you can improve your life and expand your mind. If you are not learning, you're going backwards. In other words, you're not going to improve your life if you're not constantly learning. So you need to find ways to expand your mind and to become even. Let me give you some more tips here. 80% of your success in life comes from your mindset. Okay, your mindset. This is how you think about things. This is your attitude. This is the way that you view the world. And a proper mindset, or a mindset, is to fit information. That means reading good books, or listening to audios, or attending events where you're going to expand your mind, listening to people that are motivating and inspiring. Attending this Down and Dirty is one way to help expand your mind. So what I recommend doing is that you read for 30 minutes to 1 hour daily. 30 minutes to 1 hour daily. I know you're like, well, I'm a mom or I'm a parent. I don't have time to do that. I'll tell you, mine on almost every Down and Dirty is I listen to my books. Okay. And the way I do that is there's a great little app called Audible, Audible. And you can download that app. There is a subscription for it, but I think when you first download it, they give you like a book for free. But you download that app, and I can tell you that it's a small price to pay for. I think it's like $9 a month to be a member of it. Small price to pay to have the ability to expand your mind and improve your income and your life just by listening to books. And that's what I do, is when I'm doing laundry, when I'm cooking, when I'm going for a walk or a hike with my dogs, when I'm driving. A lot of times, obviously, you can't read a book when you're the one driving the car, but you can listen to it. And because I am a mom, I'm often shuttling my sons here and there and everywhere, it seems. And so I have a lot of downtime where I can listen to those books right from my radio on my car, or sometimes I'll just take my phone and plug earbuds into them and listen to those. No, I don't have the latest phone where it's all wireless yet, but I do like to listen to everything through my phone. So really, really good. And then the other thing, what types of things should you be listening to? You should be listening to self-development type books, self-improvement, and industry-specific content. So like, for instance, if you are a marketer, you should be listening to books occasionally that deal with marketing and how to improve your sales, and also how to improve getting leads and things like that. I want to give you another tip that I've learned, because I like to study people that are very successful. And so what I've done is I started looking online and finding out what the very successful people read. Most recently, I looked up Warren Buffett. A lot of you should know who he is, but if not, Warren Buffett is one of the greatest financial minds that's out there. He is a billionaire, and he is known for for stocks, the stock market, and financially investing. And I wanted to see what types of books does he read. And if you do a search on Google, you can search for Warren Buffett's top books that he recommends. And there are some really great books that he recommends that I hadn't read. And so I've added several of them to my reading list, and I'll be picking those up soon to listen to them. And then the other thing I thought was interesting, is especially about Warren Buffett. Do you know that he spends 80% of his day reading? 80% of his day. So, I mean, that blows my mind. That means that the other 20%, he's sleeping, he's eating, or he's working, but he's spending 80% reading. And that's probably why he became so successful and well known, is because he reads so much. And I also did a search for Steve Jobs. I know that, he's deceased, but Steve Jobs is obviously the person that helped found Apple Computers. And he is very well known, and he obviously built an amazing company. And because of that, I was curious as to what types of books that he read or reads or used to read. Sorry, he's deceased. So the books that he used to read. And he also has an incredible list online, if you do a search, of books that he recommended. And I can tell you that it's kind of neat to see or look into the minds of these great people that have influenced our world. Elon Musk is another one who has a great reading list. Oprah Winfrey, she has an amazing reading list. She's even known for her book clubs. So keep this in mind, pun intended, when you are looking to improve your life and be more successful. You must work on reading or listening to good self-development, self-improvement, and industry-specific content daily. No excuses. Learners are earners, and readers are leaders. So if you can do that, I can guarantee you, if you don't listen to anything else I say today, this alone can change your entire life for the better, as it has mine. Okay? All right, let's move on to the next one. The next one is body. Your body. That's your temple, right? Your body is your temple. And so often we forget to do the right things for our bodies. And we get so caught up in trying to make a living, or trying to be a good parent, or trying to be a good spouse, or running around and maybe if you're an employee, trying to be a good employee, or if you're a boss, trying to be a good boss, that you forget about your health. So without health, there is no, they say asset is your health. Because if you are not healthy, it's very expensive if you're not healthy. Obviously, there are some things that disease, birth defects, and things that people are born with, that it's just going to be a part of your life, and that's part of the challenges and obstacles in our lives, and you can choose how you react to those things. But for those of us that are born completely healthy and have our bodies working, there's no excuse for not trying to keep that health. And I think often we take that for granted. And we eat the wrong foods. We fill our bodies full of junk. So this is kind of from a quote that I read not too long ago, and I thought it was really good. And it says, deal with the temporary pain of exercise or long. What a great quote, right? And I should have written down where I got that. I'll pull it up here and get that to you while I'm reading the next thing. But you want to find something that get you moving for a minimum of 30 minutes. Be for you. So look at things that you enjoy. Maybe you enjoy swimming. Maybe you enjoy hiking or going. Maybe you do enjoy lifting weights. For 21 days straight. That's how long it takes. And it's so true. Everything that I've ever wanted to change about myself of 21 days, and I said, I'm going to do this every day for 21 days. At the end of the 21 days, it felt like it's a routine. And so I continued doing it even past that 21 days because it felt like it was a part of. So try that for those of you that chat. And the same thing goes for your food body. Think about yourself as a very expensive, high-powered sports car. You would not put regular unleaded fuel into a high-powered sports car or junk fuel, right? You would put top of the line, the best fuel possible into that car so that it continues to run. Well, it's the same for you. So I will tell you that the biggest tip, and I teach this to my martial arts students as well, as far as diet, is, and I'm not a nutritionalist, I just want to tell you that I'm not trained in that, but there is 3 foods. I call them the 3 white deaths. The 3 white deaths. And what they are these foods, if we, and Americans tend to eat them a lot more than anybody else, but the almost complete our diet, any negative effects. And they are all white foods. And here they are: sugar, dairy, and wheat. Okay, dairy and wheat, 3 white that cut more of the diet. And in fact, if you can even eliminate them from your diet, you will find them more energized, motivated. And number 2, if you're overweight, you will lose that weight. I mean, it'll just start falling off of you, and you won't keep losing weight. Once you get to your optimal weight, you'll just stay there without any effort. It really, really works. And I can tell you that I've done all three, and I still have them occasionally in my diet: sugar, wheat flour, and dairy. But I've noticed that when I limit as much of it out of my diet, how much better I feel, and how my body just naturally goes back to a state, because you don't need those. So that I know this probably goes against a lot of people. If there's any dairy farmers on here, I apologize, but it's not. We don't need milk from a cow. We just don't. But we that because of some of the things that the media and the print has pumped into our mind. So I didn't mean this to be a whole health lesson, but I do want you to know that research it. Research what works for you. Find a nutritionalist that's actually trained in that, and find out what works best for you. And if you can do that, you're going to find that your body gets in the best shape of its life without that much effort from your end. Okay, there will be some pain, but not as much as you think there might be. Okay, so let me see how you guys are doing out there. See if anyone's still there. Okay, I'm sorry that there's a bad connection, Gabriella. I hope you can hear me. It says you can hear me now. So I'll keep going, and if I get cut off anymore, I'll re-record it if I need to. Okay. Let's see. Hold on. I think I'm still here, but if I'm not and my screen is disappearing, I'm going to turn it back on again. Okay, hopefully all is well here. If I do cut out again, just let me know. And Gabriella, if you want to message me on Facebook so that I know, because I can't see your chat until I flip over to that screen. So just let me know. Okay, we're going to keep going here. So just these are the 3 points that I made on body, if you missed any of that. And I'm going to keep going to the next thing. All right, the next one is spirit. This one can be kind of a touchy subject for some people, but I do strongly about it with it as a goal or something you focus on in your life, that you are not going to have as fulfilling of a life. And it's for me, it's from many people that have studied what's called centenarians, people who live well into their hundreds. What are the things that they all have in common? Well, we have a belief in a higher power. Okay, so spirit it's your character. It's what makes you who you are, but it's also a belief in a higher power. So if no matter what religion you are, this is all by means, but no matter what religion that you are or spirituality that you practice, you should have a belief in some sort of higher power. And it does change your life to have a connection with something greater than yourself. And if you can dedicate 30 minutes of your day, I mean even 15 minutes of your day, to focusing on having gratitude. And you can do that through prayer, through meditation, or just verbally giving thanks for all of the many blessings that you have in your life. You're going to see a big change in your life by doing that. In fact, I just did a Facebook post about that today on and how every morning when I get up, actually before I even get out of bed, I express at least 5 things, usually 10, because I'm not a morning person. I'll just be honest. So I will lay there in bed in my nice, cozy, I will say out loud 10 things that I'm grateful for. And when I do that, it can be as simple as I'm grateful for my nice warm bed and a pillow to put my head on, to as big as, I'm grateful for, the people that have come into my life, and I'll list them, certain people that have really inspired me and made me who I am. Through and take time to express that gratitude and thanks, and you're going to find in doing so that, number one, it improves your overall attitude and spirit, and it also connects you with something greater. And there has been proof in Scientific America. There was an article in November of 2015 about how they did a blind test with two groups of people. One, they asked to express gratitude daily, and the other group, they asked to just list memories that they had in their life. And at the end of 30 days, the group that expressed gratitude daily had an overall improvement in their attitude. They were happier, they were less depressed, they were more motivated, they were healthier. I mean, it affected all areas of their life just by showing gratitude and thanks. And so I encourage you, if you don't already have a practice like this, to take time to do that. And it's a ton of time. I mean, in the morning, but you could do it before you go to bed at night. You know, just think of 5 to 10 things for. And another thing you could do, start what's called a notebook, and every day write down 5 to 10 things that you're grateful for. And it's really kind of cool if you do choose to do that, that at the end of the year, you know, come New Year, if you take a look at that and see all of the different things that you have in your life, all your blessings, all of the things that make you thankful for who you are, and it really uplifts your spirit, and it helps you to continue that gratitude because you see all of the proof as to what it's done for you in your life in the past few days, or the past year for that matter. Okay, so I hope that inspires you. I'm going to double check, make sure you can still hear me over here. Okay, great. Thanks, Gabriella. So let's go to relationships. Okay, so relationships are one of the things that I think can be challenging for people. You know, they can be really challenging, but I will tell you this, no man or woman succeeds on their own. So if you are living in this bubble and you think that you've got to, you know, succeed and be successful all by yourself, and that nobody can get you there except yourself, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but that doesn't work that way. In fact, I don't know anyone, no one who is vastly successful in their life who does not have a very tight relationship with a number of people, and a large number of people ideally, because you can't do it all yourself. Eventually, you're going to run out of resources, you're going to run out of time in your day, and you're going to get burnt out if you are trying to do everything yourself. So realize, as part of your goal for the new year, that your relationships are vital to your success. So what should you do? You should seek out people who are positive, supportive, and like-minded. And if you don't have people like that in your life right now, then there are many ways you can find them. You might consider, if you don't have a church home or something like that, you should join something like that you feel strongly in, and you'll meet people who are similar to you. If you're not into that type of environment, then you can seek out groups of people. You know, there are many groups for every single type of industry you can possibly think of, both online groups and offline groups in person, and seek those type of places out and join them as a member. Many of them are free. You can do a search on Google for groups related to whatever industry you're in, and then be active in that group. Talk to people, communicate, ask questions, give compliments to those when they give good, when they post something that's helpful to you. And you'll find that you start making those connections with other people that are outgoing, positive, supportive. And that's what we all need, especially if you're on a mission to build a business or improve your life in any area. And you might seek out groups that are related to areas in your life that you really need help. You know, if you're looking to lose weight or exercise more, find groups that are related to that. If you're looking to improve your knowledge about finance, find groups related to that. Maybe you need help when it comes to being a better parent. Find groups on that, on how to be, improve your parenting skills and to help with problems that you might have with your children. The same goes for your personal relationships when it comes to your spouse or partner. look for, if you're having trouble in that area, and I know all of us have trouble in that area at some point in our life. I mean, let's just be honest. There is not one time in which you're going to have just a perfect relationship with anybody. Okay? We all have those moments in which we get angry, and sometimes we say things we shouldn't. So if you're trying to grow a relationship with your spouse and you're having trouble, don't be afraid to ask for help. And don't just go to family members for help. Seek outside help if it's really gotten bad, and see solutions that way. And you'll find that it makes it a lot better, a lot easier to handle if you get another person to help you that's trained in relationships. Okay. So I will tell you the next part of this, and that is, if you're seeking out people who are positive, you should also avoid spending time with those who are negative. So those are down, that squash your dreams, or people that try to stop you from being your true self. Those are the people you should avoid. And I know sometimes, a lot of times actually, those people might actually be your friends. They could even be your family members that are doing this to you. And I will say that 90% of the time, the reason they're doing this to you is because of fear. They are afraid that you are going to get hurt, that you're going to fail. They're afraid that that you're going to achieve something that they never could. They may have a little jealousy going on there. These are reasons why people do it. Now, you may know the reason why they're doing it, but you can't change them. You cannot change another human being. Only they can change. And so I can tell you from firsthand experience, my first husband, I am now married again to a wonderful man, but my first husband and I, we had a lot of struggle with this. And it was because I had big, and there were some things that he didn't agree with. And so it became very, very difficult for me to express what I was doing in my career and in my life, because of the turbulence that was there. And I never, obviously, no one intends to get divorced, but I can tell you personally that it was a good thing for us, because we had grown so far apart, and even with outside counseling and help, we could not overcome the challenges that we had. And as painful as that was, it was the best thing that could have happened, because it put both of us in a much better place. And so sometimes you might have to do that if who you're with is bringing you down completely, and you've tried every avenue possible to salvage that relationship and make it better. Then I hate to be the marriage counselor here, but it may be time to move on. And I hate to see people wasting so much of their precious life fighting battles when the battle can't be won. You know what I mean? And I say that because you are only on this earth for a limited time. All of us are. And it is so short. Our life is so short. I mean, it could be, cut short tomorrow. You don't know that. And so you have to try to find the happy places so that you can live out your life to its best ability. And I am one of those. I've always been upfront and honest with whoever is in my life. And if I'm having trouble, privately, I'll sit down and say, look, these are the things that are really important for me. Obviously I'd like them to be important for you too, but if they're not, I'm not going to share them with you anymore if you continue to bring me down about them. Because to me, life is short and precious, and I have to do the things that give me passion, or I'm going to lose my health, I'm going to lose my spark, and I'm going to be miserable. And that's no way to live any life. So I just wanted to share with you that, because I know that there are some people who might be listening to this who are in that situation or are concerned about that with relationships. And I will tell you, there are ways out of it. And you just have to decide, can it be fixed? And wonderful. If it can't be fixed, then don't waste your life and ruin your health because of a situation that you can't change, because you can change it. All right, so I don't want to go any deeper on this because I know it can get kind of depressing, but the biggest takeaway is seek out more positive people in your life, and you'll find that you will have a much more successful year and a much more successful life because of it. All right, now we're going to get into number 5, finance. So I believe that money is simply a tool. It's a tool that we all must have in order to be able to eat, to be able to clothe ourselves, to be able to provide for others, and to be able to provide for ourselves. And so it's important to really focus on finance, not because we are hungry to have money, but because we are hungry to live a fulfilling life and to be able to provide great things for both ourselves and for others. And if you look at it from that perspective and realize that you deserve to have that, you deserve to have money, there is nothing wrong with you. You deserve everything that is there, that you can imagine. You deserve it, and you're worthy to have it. Then you're going to have much better success in creating more wealth and abundance in your life. So here are some things about you to take away for the new year. And that is, number 1, the world is changing. And I know you know this, but I want to express it even more. There are jobs being taken away right now because of a lot of things that are going on. And I'm not going to go into a ton of detail, but I just want you to look around for a second. When you go to the grocery store or any big box store for that matter, have you noticed that there are more and more self-checkout areas? Yeah, well, I have. And for every self-checkout area, that they are no longer hiring tellers to work at that store for those positions. So they're cutting their workforce. And more places are going to a robotic operating system. Even recently, here in my neighborhood, the McDonald's just put in automatic ordering. So now you just go up to a screen and you touch what you want to order, and then your order is up. You don't even work with a cashier. And I imagine eventually they'll get to the point where they don't even need people back there cooking the food because it's almost automated as it is. So they would be able to produce the food and just make sure all the orders are in, and it would make the food for you and spit it out the machine. I think that's where they're going. And these are just some areas that I've seen where the world is changing and it's becoming more and more automated. And because of that, it is so important for you to have multiple streams of income, because you cannot depend on most careers being here 3, 5, 10 years from now. That's just not going to happen anymore. Gone are the days in which most careers are, lifetime careers. I mean, I know when my dad used to be, and he's retired now, but when my father was in the workforce, you got hired and you stayed at the same company until you retired. That was the way it was. But that's not the way it is anymore. And if you believe that that's the way it is, then you're going to be one of the people that gets cut, and you're not going to know what to do. And so I challenge you to have multiple streams of income so that you can be safer in this new time and this new era. And I will tell you right now, what is the best types of multiple streams of income that you can have? Well, it's in technology. If you can create a digital business or a business that's in the technology field, full or part-time, you're going to have a more reliable income source. Okay? And for me, I really look at it like the easiest way. There's really no excuses today on not having some kind of an outside income because most everybody has a smartphone. I mean, just about everybody I know, with few exceptions, has a smartphone. And most everybody has a home computer, either a laptop computer, or where you can borrow one or use one. Most libraries even have them. You can just go and sit at one and use it. So with that said, you could have a business. those are the only two things you need. I mean, as long as you have internet access or can get it, and there's a lot of places that have free Wi-Fi internet, so you can have a business because you have, those are the only tools you really need to have a business that can make you 6 figures or more. You just have to start learning how to do it. And there are many, many types of online businesses you can have, but I will tell you that some of the easiest ones are those where the product is already built or service is already built, and you just resell them as an affiliate. And you don't even have to be a salesperson. Most of them already have like a sales process in place. You just have to share the link, and when people buy it, then you get a commission from it. And so I encourage you to start looking into those opportunities. And if you are looking for help and you don't have a business like that, reach out to me. You'll see there's a button down below this Hangout where you can reach out to me, and from there I can connect you with several different resources that I personally use in order to build my financial income. So I hope this really helps you, because I can tell you my own mentors years ago, they told me, hey, this is happening, this is coming, and you might want to have another business because things are changing. And I'm so glad they did, because it's really put us in a better place financially. And you could put yourself in a better place financially just by having another business, especially a digital business, because you have the tools already. So it's low overhead, low cost to manage a business like that. Pretty cool, right? So take a look at that. All right, let's go to the last one, and this is 6. Your purpose. And let me just check, make sure everybody can hear me still okay. All right, great. Thanks for all your feedback, Gabrielle. I really appreciate you being on the Hangout. I know a lot of people are out of town this week because the holidays have just started. But for those of you watching this is a recording. I hope you're getting good value, and feel free to comment below, because I do check those even after the recording has been online. Okay, so we're going to go into purpose now, and this is the 6th and final area that you can focus on to really make 2017 the best year ever for you. So I believe that everyone has a purpose. I believe we all do. Okay, you're born with it. Even if you didn't go to school, you didn't get a college degree, even if you were very turbulent household, even if you were given everything and had a very wealthy household, you have a purpose. Okay, everyone does. The key is to find it. Right? When you find your purpose, here's how you know that you found it. Number 1, it's something you enjoy and it comes naturally to you. It doesn't feel like work to you. It feels like something you could do all the time and you'd be happy. And you may think that whatever your purpose is, if you found something that you know is like that for you, you may think, okay, that's great. I really enjoy sleeping. I'm really good at it, but I'm not sure how I can make a living doing that. Well, there are ways. In fact, I can think of one way, just for those of you that like sleeping. Okay, this is kind of funny, but and maybe you've heard of this, but I just heard of it recently because, believe it or not, I have a friend that did this. There is a group called a cuddler group. Okay, I'm not kidding. Cuddler, like, holding somebody, cuddling. Anyhow, I guess there was a need. This man who founded this cuddling group, he saw that there's a need for a lot of people who don't get physical touch, and he loves to cuddle and he loves to just sleep. And so he organized a group that meets like once a week, and the whole sole purpose is to meet and cuddle with somebody. You're fully clothed and you cuddle, and people pay him like thousands of dollars just to come to his cuddling group. Okay, so here's a man who created a business around cuddling, okay, and sleeping. I mean, that's a lot of times they'll fall asleep in the cuddling position. Okay, I think it's kind of crazy personally, but kudos to him for finding something that is his passion. And look, he found a way to monetize it too. So if somebody can do that, you can create anything, okay? Anything. I'm serious. So you just have to be more creative. And part of being creative is that very first thing that I mentioned: reading, listening, learning, and expressing gratitude. because on doing those things, it's going to open up the creativity in your mind, and you're going to start seeing opportunities that you didn't see before. So here's how you find what your real purpose is. Do more of what you enjoy. Do more of it. And as you start doing more of what you enjoy, you're going to start to see opportunities, and ideas are going to start popping on how could you do this full time. And maybe some of your friends or family will say, yeah, I think you could turn that into a business. And then do it, or post an ad and see if there's interest. And if there is, then go for it. That's how people get started doing what they love and making a life around purpose. And I will give you another hint, and that is, you're on the right track if what you love to do serves others some way. If it serves other people in a positive way and it helps them, then you found your purpose. Because every business that's out there, it was founded on the idea that it provides a solution. It serves others in some way. And this even goes for illegal businesses. Not that I recommend that. I definitely don't, actually, but they even serve a purpose as well. They serve others, not necessarily positively, but they do serve them. So if you can find a way to serve people doing what you enjoy, what you love, in a positive way, I think you'll feel a lot better about it if it's positive. Then you will get paid for it. And you'll find ways, especially if you have a mentor, on how you can monetize what you love and make something great out of it. Right? Great. So I also have a bonus for you, and then we're going to wrap it up today. So let me flip back, see how we're doing. All right. So good. Thanks, Gabriella. All right. So let me just go back then. Here's the bonus that I gave for you guys today. So I've given you these 6 things, these 6 areas to really change your life for the better in 2017. And the key now to making those things happen is to eliminate other distractions that are in your life that are preventing you from doing those 6 things on a regular basis. And some of those distractions might be television. Television is a big one for a lot of people. Gaming. A lot of people are gamers. I used to be when I was a kid, but I'm definitely not now. We don't even have a gaming system. So, these are things that I know you may love them, and unless you're going to turn it into a business of some kind because you love it so much, then eliminate it. Okay? I do know there are people out there that turn gaming into a business. So if that's something you truly love and you can't imagine eliminating it, then turn it into a business somehow. Okay? Focus on the things that really matter. And I'm going to flip this around to share some more tips with you on how to focus on those things and to share a little story. So let me do that. All right. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation so far. So I wanted to share a story, and this has been around a while, but I think it'll really help, and it applies to focus in order to be successful. And that was, there was a story about a professor, a college professor, who stood up in front of the class, and he had, in his class, he had this big pickle jar, just a clear glass pickle jar. And with that pickle jar, he began dropping golf balls into it. And he had this whole bag behind the desk of golf balls, and he just filled it with golf balls. And then he held it up to everybody, and he asked the class, "Is this full?" And everybody looked around, and they said, yeah, it's full. Yeah, it's full. And so then he pulled out a bag of sand that he had behind his desk, and he filled that entire jar with sand all the way to the top. And then he held it up to everybody, and he says, "Is this full?" And everybody laughed, because obviously now they realized that it wasn't full, because the sand filled in all the cracks of where the golf balls were. And so then they were like, yeah, it's full now. And then behind his desk, he had a gallon jug of water, and he took that and he filled the rest of it, so all the little cracks in the sand, all the way to the top, with water. And now it's quite heavy, so he had it sitting on his desk. He says, "Is it full?" And everyone says, yes, it's full. So he said to everyone afterwards, he said the lesson behind this is that the big golf balls represent the important parts of your life. They represent, your family. They represent your health. They represent your time with God and your religion. They represent the things that you do that you love. All of those activities and those moments that really make you smile. And the sand represents all the other little minutia that goes on into our life. And the water represents our life force and our energy. Okay. And he said, here's the secret. He said, if you fill up the jar with the sand first, if you put all of the sand in, you won't have any room for the golf balls. Okay, those are the big important parts of your life. You won't have any room if you fill it up with minutia, like checking your emails, doing Facebook all the time, sitting on your phone and ignoring your family, stuff like that. You're not going to have time for them because you filled up your jar with, the minutia of life. And, obviously the water would go in on top of that. That's your life force. Whereas if you fill up with golf balls first, you have plenty of time for other stuff, okay? But you want to focus on those big things, those big golf balls. And then, here's the other thing. If you put all the golf balls in and then you put the water in there, you'll see that the golf balls float. Okay, well, unless they're really new ones, but if they're really old, they tend to float. But the point is that it shows to you, if you put your life force into the big things in your life, then they float and you uplift those around you. And that's really the way that the story goes, is you want to uplift the things that are important to you and not worry about that minutia that's in your life. Those things will take care of themselves. Focus on the important things and eliminate those things that aren't. And I'll share with you just a few more things, and that is, I have removed a lot of things that I used to focus on that took away from the important things in my life. Number one, at our home here, we have not had cable television or satellite television or anything like that for over 6 years. Yeah, over 6 years. So my children, they don't know all of the shows that people have on cable. In fact, the types of shows that they like to watch are some of the ones that I used to watch when I was a kid, like the A-Team. I don't know if you guys remember that show, but it's like been around like from the 80s. And that show is on this old channel because we only get like 7 channels that comes through the airwaves because we don't have cable. And that's one of the shows that comes through. And so they watch that. And there's a few other shows that they'll watch. But for the most part, we don't watch a lot of television. We're out doing stuff. And we like to hike together. We are going to activities together. We spend time together. We talk. We play games a lot, like board games and stuff like that. And because of that, I think it's built a really close relationship with our family. We don't spend a lot of money on things that we don't need. We don't go out to eat a lot, although I do like to go out to eat when we go. I really appreciate that. But we spend a lot of time together as a family, and I love to cook. And by eliminating that, that's an expense that we didn't need. And it's also allowed us to grow closer as a family and really have those table discussions that a lot of us forget to do because we're so busy. So those are just a few tips that I wanted to give to you today. I do hope that they've helped you in some way. And I can tell you with honesty that if you can just focus on those 6 things that I gave you, those 6 things every day, even if you only did it like 15 or 30 minutes per 6 items per day, you're going to see a massive shift in your life for 2017. You're going to see things happen for you and your business that you can't even believe. And you're going to have better relationships because of it. And you're going to grow as a person and a human being because of all the reading and knowledge that you're pumping into your brain. So I really hope you'll do this, and I hope that you'll touch back with me and let me know how it goes for you after maybe the first 30 days, and let's see how you improve your life and what happens from there. So thank you for being on this hangout, and thank you for those watching the recording, and I really appreciate you. So have a wonderful holiday season, and we will see you next Monday for the Down and Dirty at 1:30. Take care.